Question. A friend's father-in-law was hospitalized recently in Kuantan due to blood infection. Any protective or preventive measures? Answer. A blood infection, often leading to a serious condition called sepsis, can be incredibly frightening for a family to experience. I hope he is receiving good care in Kuantan and makes a steady recovery. When someone is already hospitalized for a blood infection, prevention shifts focus into two areas: protecting him from further complications while in the hospital and preventing future infections once he recovers. Here are the most practical measures his family and visitors can take. 1. Immediate hospital safeguards while admitted. The primary goal right now is to prevent secondary infections, hospital-acquired infections, and help his body heal. Strict hand hygiene. This is rule number 1. Everyone, family members, visitors, and even medical staff, must thoroughly wash their hands or use medical-grade sanitizer before touching him or any surfaces in his room. Monitor invasive lines. If he has an intravenous IV drip, central line, or urinary catheter, these are direct pathways for bacteria. The family can politely ask the nursing staff daily, are these lines still necessary, and have they been checked for signs of infection? Prompt removal when no longer needed drastically cuts risk. Limit personal clutter. Keep bedside tables clear so hospital cleaning staff can easily wipe down and disinfect the surfaces around him. Be a health advocate. Keep an eye out for signs of worsening or a new infection, such as sudden shivering, a spiked fever, a soaring heart rate, or new mental confusion. If something feels off, alert the nurse immediately. 2. Long-term preventive measures after discharge. Once he is well enough to return home, his immune system will still be vulnerable for a while. Flawless wound and cut care. Any future skin break, even a minor scrape, blister, or surgical incision, must be cleaned immediately with water, treated with antiseptic, and covered. The skin is the body's primary barrier. A minor skin infection can easily travel back into the bloodstream. Manage chronic conditions. If he has diabetes, kidney issues, or heart disease, keeping these strictly managed is vital. High blood sugar, for example, severely weakens the body's ability to fight off bacteria. Stay up to date on vaccines. Respiratory infections like pneumonia and the flu are notorious for spiraling into blood infections in older adults. Once he recovers, discuss getting his pneumococcal and annual flu vaccines with his doctor. Watch for early warning signs. If he gets any future infection, like a urinary tract infection or a bad cough, do not wait it out. Seek medical attention early before it has a chance to enter the bloodstream.
Preventative and protective measures for blood infections, such as bacteremia or sepsis, focus primarily on reducing the risk of new infections, supporting recovery after hospitalization, and enabling early detection. Bloodstream infections are serious and require professional medical management. The following general guidance is based on recommendations from authoritative health organizations. It is essential to consult the treating physician or healthcare team in Kuantan for personalized advice tailored to the patient's specific condition, underlying health issues, and discharge plan. 1. Hand hygiene and general infection prevention. Wash hands thoroughly and frequently. Use soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially before eating, after using the toilet, after coughing, sneezing, before and after caring for wounds, and after contact with potentially contaminated surfaces. Alcohol-based hand sanitizer is a good alternative when soap is unavailable. Avoid close contact with sick individuals and practice respiratory hygiene. Cover coughs, sneezes with a tissue or elbow. Keep the home environment clean, particularly high-touch surfaces. 2. Wound and skin care. Clean any cuts, scrapes, or surgical sites promptly with appropriate antiseptics and keep them covered until healed. Monitor for signs of infection, redness, swelling, pus, increased pain, or warmth. Follow any specific wound care instructions provided by the hospital. 3. Vaccinations and chronic condition management. Ensure the patient is up to date on recommended vaccinations, e.g., flu, pneumococcal, COVID-19, and others as advised by the doctor, as these can prevent infections that may lead to sepsis. Effectively manage chronic conditions such as diabetes, heart disease, or kidney issues, which can increase susceptibility. Attend follow-up appointments as scheduled. 4. Post-hospitalization precautions. Complete prescribed medications, e.g., antibiotics, fully, even if symptoms improve, unless otherwise directed. Monitor for recurrence or new infections. Watch for signs of sepsis, including fever, chills, rapid breathing, heart rate, confusion, extreme pain, or clammy skin. Seek immediate medical attention if these appear. Limit unnecessary hospital or clinic visits if possible, and ask healthcare providers to practice hand hygiene in your presence. In Malaysia, adhere to local hospital infection control protocols during any follow-up visits. 5. Lifestyle and supportive measures. Maintain a balanced diet, adequate hydration, and sufficient rest to support the immune system. Avoid smoking and manage weight appropriately. For families and caregivers, educate yourselves on warning signs and support the patient in maintaining hygiene routines. Important note: these measures reduce risk but do not guarantee prevention, especially in vulnerable individuals. The patient's recent hospitalization indicates they may have specific risk factors, so professional follow-up care, including any home nursing or monitoring, is strongly recommended. In Kuantan, contact the hospital where treatment occurred or a local healthcare provider for guidance aligned with Malaysian Ministry of Health protocols. If symptoms worsen, seek emergency care without delay. The author has placed this work in the public domain. It may be freely imported, exported, shared, distributed, edited, modified, or reformatted without explicit consent from the author. As a visually impaired person, the author asserts his rights under the Marrakesh Treaty to facilitate access to published works for persons who are blind, visually impaired, or otherwise print disabled. 2013, wipo.int.
Early bird registration for my September 5th event is valid until July 31st for a minimum donation of 150 ringgit. Made before July 31st, you can attend my September 5th event. All proceeds from all your donations will be used not just for your meal for the day, but also for my various eye treatments and sponsoring some persons with disability to attend the event. From July onwards, it will be 150 ringgit until the end of July. Then in August, it will go up to 200 ringgit. Thank you.
How to attend Aislan Adnan's Meet the Author luncheon at the Hungry Tapir, 135 Petaling Street, Kuala Lumpur. Short walking distance from the Pasar Seni MRT LRT station. From 12:30 hours, Saturday, 5th September 2026.
Step 1. Download all my 30+ books on nutrition for free from Z Library using this URL. However, there is a limit of 10 downloads a day from Z Library. The workaround is to download them, and 2,250 plus others, from my Optimal Health Community Telegram broadcast channel at EPUB Electronic Publishing. All my free ebooks are published in .epub electronic publishing format. If you are still living in the dark ages and only know .pdf, portable document format, and never heard of .epub, don't worry. You are about to have a mind-blowing experiential learning journey. If you use an Apple device, .epub files open in the Books app. If you are an Android user, use Universal Book Reader or a similar app. If you need further instructions on how to read .epub documents, just ask your favorite AI app to teach you. If you have never used an AI app before, start with Grok, Gemini, or ChatGPT. Then move on to DeepSeek, Claude, or Kling later.
Step 2. I have put all my books in the public domain, and you may share them freely. In fact, I strongly implore you to do so. Viralize them, make sure they reach every person who needs the knowledge contained in them. In Malaysia, the most recent data from the National Health and Morbidity Survey 2023 shows that 21.8% of adults are obese and 32.6% are overweight. This means the total combined rate is 54.4% of adults. Scary huge percentages of Malaysians are diabetic or suffer from other non-communicable diseases, NCDs. To be specific, in Malaysia, about 15.5% of adults have chronic kidney disease, CKD, up from 9.1% in 2011. Around 21.4% of adults aged 30 and above are at high risk of cardiovascular disease, CVD. Among older adults, about 8.5% have dementia, equating to roughly 260,000 people as of 2022. A nation is only as strong as its human capital. How strong can a nation be if more than half its population is fat, sick, and nearly dead? Of what good can you be to your family if you are fat, sick, and nearly dead? You owe it to yourself to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be.
Step 3. Read the books. Follow whatever advice that makes sense to you. If something doesn't make sense to you, or causes cognitive dissonance, you can ask me clarifying questions on the 5th of September. Also, be prepared to report on the 5th of September what improvements in your health you have noticed. So far, one person has seen her total cholesterol level drop from always above 5 to 4.6. Another has resolved a chronic constipation issue. I have written 2 books on human stool classification and stool analysis. Another person who wakes up every morning with a white layer of mucus on her tongue for more than half her life now wakes up with a clear tongue. Step 4. Make the minimum donation by the required dates. The longer you prevaricate, the higher the minimum donation gets. Minimum donation per pax: 100 ringgit for donations received by June 30th, 150 ringgit for donations received by July 31st, 200 ringgit for donations received by August 31st, 500 ringgit for donations received by the 5th of September and for walk-ins. Places are limited. However, I do not wish to deprive anyone. If enough people register, we can take over the whole restaurant, so make your donations early to reserve your place. Purpose: your donations will go towards sponsoring persons with disability, PWD, to attend the event and also towards my various ongoing eye treatments. Sponsorship: if you run a business and wish to promote your business, you can sponsor door gifts, gift vouchers, or even cash.
Vegivore Food Therapy proudly presents Ask Me Anything on Nutrition.
Your attention please. Vegivore Food Therapy proudly organizes a unique, transformative event on Saturday, 5 September 2026, starting at 12:30 hours at the Hungry Tapir, 135 Jalan Petaling Street, 50000, Kuala Lumpur. For a minimum donation of 100 ringgit, attendees will secure a seat at this rare opportunity. Aslan Adnan, MA, polymath and autodidact, will guide the session. A writer and researcher in nutrition science, Aslan has authored dozens of books on plant-based bioactives, antioxidants, and the chemistry of whole foods. In this session, he will lead a dynamic Ask Me Anything on Nutrition session. All 30 of his nutrition books are in the public domain and are downloadable at the link below. Attendees must read these books in advance and come prepared with their questions. This is a singular chance to engage with one of today's leading independent nutrition thinkers. Don't miss it. A healthy, whole food, plant-based lunch with the menu curated by Aslan Adnan will be served. No need to write your name in the reference of the bank transfer, as it will automatically be displayed, but include your phone number in case we need to contact you for any last-minute changes.
We will also celebrate Aslan's 68th birthday.
Some of you have been wondering why a YouTube channel devoted to green political philosophy and ideology would address health issues. The stark facts are these. Data from the National Health and Morbidity Survey in Malaysia 2023 shows that 54.4% of adults are either overweight or obese, with 32.6% classified as overweight and 21.8% as obese. Abdominal obesity, per Roeg-Boroy, was also reported at 54.5%. Compared to 2011, the combined prevalence of overweight and obesity has increased from 44.5% to 54.4%. According to the same survey, 15.6% of adults in Malaysia have been diagnosed with diabetes, kencing manis. Additionally, about 21.4% of Malaysian adults aged 30 and above have a high 10-year calculated risk of developing cardiovascular disease, CVD, sakit jantung. In Malaysia, precise prevalence data for diagnosed CVD is somewhat limited. Data from 2010 to 2021 indicated that 16.6% of all registered deaths were due to CVD. A 2015 survey found that 14.1% of working-age adults had diabetes, 24.5% had hypertension, and 45.9% had high cholesterol. The World Heart Federation also noted in 2022 that around 11% of deaths in Malaysia are linked to CVD. In 2011, the prevalence of chronic kidney disease, CKD, sakit buah pinggang, was 9.07%. A nationwide study in Malaysia in 2018 estimated that 15.48% of adults, over 5 million people, have CKD. It really is alarming. These numbers are striking, especially when you consider how rapidly they have grown over just a decade. It is a massive public health challenge. In light of these statistics, the implications for nation building and capacity building are stark. What value does a nation have if more than half its population are fat, sick, and nearly dead?
Are you fat, sick, and nearly dead? Well, according to the data from the latest survey, 54.8% of Malaysians are. In fact, the statistics are quite scary. So if you or any of your loved ones are in this high-risk category, don't despair. I have good news for you. I've written more than 30 books on nutrition, and you can download them all for free. The only limitation is you can only download 10 books per day from Z Library. However, you can download almost 2,500 books from my Telegram broadcast channel. I'll give you the link shortly. And if you're overwhelmed by 30 books, in fact, these 30 books, I've designed them so that they could cover the undergraduate syllabus of a nutrition or dietetics course, or the nutritional needs for a medical student. Anyway, if you think you're overwhelmed, you don't know where to start with this book. And then as you progress, you can, go deeper, take a deep dive into the other books. And if you want to meet me to discuss what you've read in the books, you have a chance in September to do so. However, there are 5 places already been taken up, and there are limited seats, so the sooner you register, the sooner you'll reserve a place for yourself. Attendance is by donation, so details are in the following video.
It is for this reason that I've written more than 30 books on health and nutrition and put them all in the public domain. Why nutrition? Because nutrition is the single biggest factor and lowest hanging fruit we can address to improve our health. 80% of our health is influenced by nutrition, which is our biggest exposure to the environment. The others are genetics, at 5%. But even with genetics, the emerging science of epigenetics shows how we can switch off bad genes and switch on good ones with nutrition. The remaining 15% relate to other lifestyle factors, including sleep, meditation, relationships, air quality, and so forth.
Important note on event registration fees. Super Early Bird. Donation received by the 30th of June 2026. Minimum donation of 100 ringgits. Early Bird. Donation received between the 1st and the 31st of July 2026. Minimum donation of 150 ringgits. Normal registration. Donation received between the 1st and the 31st of August 2026. Minimum donation of 200 ringgits. Late registration. Donation received between 1st to 5th September 2026. Minimum donation of 500 ringgits. All proceeds after deducting third-party costs will go towards Aslan Adnan's various ongoing eye treatments to hopefully reverse or at least arrest his macular degeneration, cataracts, photophobia, mydriasis, dry eyes, and etc. This is mission critical as, if his vision fails, he'll no longer be able to produce, edit, or upload videos. Your voluntary contributions and donations are a critical success factor. As such, your generosity, empathy, compassion, and kindness are well and truly appreciated. We thank you in advance for your invaluable help and assistance in making this event a resounding success.
About the author. Aslan Adnan, M.A., is a writer and independent researcher whose work focuses on nutrition science, food systems, and the biological foundations of human health. His writing examines how natural foods contain complex compounds that interact with human physiology in ways that may support long-term well-being. He has a particular interest in plant-based bioactive compounds such as polyphenols, carotenoids, flavonoids, and other phytochemicals found in fruits, vegetables, herbs, spices, algae, and fungi. His research explores how these compounds function in plants and how they may influence human nutrition when consumed as part of a balanced diet. Aslan approaches nutrition from a multidisciplinary perspective, drawing on biochemistry, plant biology, and public health nutrition. His work aims to translate complex scientific concepts into clear explanations so that readers can better understand the nutritional value of everyday foods. He is the author of several books examining natural sources of antioxidants and other dietary compounds. Author of the Antioxidant series, Antioxidants in Herbs and Spices, Antioxidants in Algae, Microalgae, and Fungi, Antioxidants in Fruits and Vegetables, Antioxidants in Nuts and Seeds, Antioxidants in Berries. Author of the Nutrient series, Macronutrients, Volume 1, Carbohydrates, Macronutrients, Volume 2, Lipids, Macronutrients, Volume 3, Proteins, Micronutrients, Vitamins, Trace Elements, and Minerals, Anti-nutrients, the hidden blockers in your food, Phytonutrients, the quiet power of plants, Water, the forgotten fourth, a macronutrient you can't ignore, other books on health and nutrition, Tuber's Briefing Paper, 2nd edition, Aslan's 5-Powder Manifesto, Eating the Greek Way, How Cultural Habits Support Health Without Trying, Ideology on a Plate, How Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Turned U.S. Dietary Guidelines into a Scientific Farce, Maslow in 2026, A Practical Guide to Actual Needs, Not Scrollable Wishes. These works form part of an ongoing series exploring the chemistry, biological roles, and nutritional significance of bioactive compounds in plant foods. Through his writing, Aslan advocates a practical food-first approach to nutrition. His work emphasizes whole foods, dietary diversity, and balanced eating patterns, rather than reliance on isolated nutrients or supplements. He holds a Master of Arts in International Business and Management from the University of Westminster in London, and writes extensively on nutrition science, health, and food-based approaches to long-term well-being. Aslan Adnan, the quiet revolutionary of real food writing. Aslan Adnan, M.A., is a Malaysian polymath who spent decades turning food into philosophy. Raw, unfiltered, no hype. You won't find him pushing superfoods or miracle diets. He dissects what actually works. Whole plants, spices, microbes, and the quiet chemistry that keeps bodies humming. With over 30 books, self-published, shared freely on Z-Library, Facebook groups, Telegram channels, Aslan's output is prolific. Part manifesto, part manual. Early works like Spring Has Sprung, a psychological thriller, and travelogues On the Road to the East Coast reveal his roots in journalism, advertising, and storytelling. But nutrition became his mission. Educated with a Master of Arts in International Business and Management from the University of Westminster, London, he taught at the School of Management, Royal Holloway, London, while pursuing doctoral research in business strategy and environmental management, specializing in the international timber trade. That academic backbone, rigor, systems thinking, sustainability, bleeds into his food writing. No fluff, just evidence. The core series, the Macronutrients Trilogy, Volume 1 on carbohydrates, glucose, fiber, metabolism, Volume 2 on lipids, fats, omega-3s, inflammation, Volume 3 on proteins, repair, enzymes, muscle. Then micronutrients, water, and anti-nutrients, the plant world's double-edged sword. Anti-nutrients are naturally occurring compounds in whole foods, phytates, oxalates, lectins, goitrogens, that can bind minerals, block enzymes, or mess with absorption. They evolved as plant defenses, but in us, they steal iron from spinach, calcium from kale, or spike gut irritation from raw beans. Variety wins. 30 plants a week, not monodiets. Raw's romantic, but cooked smarter. Add spice blends like Aslan's 5-powder manifesto, turmeric mixes for real anti-inflammation, and you've got a library that says, eat wide, not weird. Why release it all into the public domain? Because knowledge isn't currency. It's oxygen. Aslan watched corporations gatekeep health, paywalls on papers, patented supplements, proprietary blends that hide what works. He refuses. His books aren't for sale. They're for spread. No DRM, no ads, no ego. Just files anyone can download, print, share. He says it plain. If one person in a kampong swaps white rice for brown or steams kailan instead of boiling it, that's the win, not royalties. He's no gatekeeper. His Facebook, Aslan Green Party, Instagram, and YouTube drop bite-sized truths. Traffic light WFPB guides, eye health talks on lutein, vegan journeys. He credits tradition, curries, forest mushrooms, seaweed from tides, and lives it. Unpeeled carrots, home ferments, no moralizing. 30-plus titles aren't about volume. They're depth. Carbs to phytonutrients, water to gut bugs. Aslan doesn't sell health. He hands you the tools. Read him and your plate changes. Not because you're broken, because you're built for better. A heartfelt light. To every soul whose hand did give, you've helped me dream, helped me live. In darkest hours your light came through, with hearts so kind, so pure, so true. Your gifts, like stars in deepest night, have steered me gently toward the light. Each coin, each word, each silent prayer, a thread of hope so rich, so rare. My eyes once dimmed now seek the skies, and slowly clearer visions rise. Because of you, I dare to see the world again. Its grace, its plea. Your compassion's flame will not just stay with me alone. It lights the way for others wandering through despair to feel the warmth of selfless care. You've shown what love in action means, in quiet ways through giving scenes. You've built a bridge from soul to soul and made the broken feel more whole. So let this thanks rise like a song, a melody both soft and strong. May your example gently call more hearts to rise to give. To fall into the joy of lifting pain, of planting hope where none remains. Your kindness walks beside me still, a light, a love, a living will.
show your support. Share your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel to show your support.